on YouTube. This is an opportunity for you to ask your questions. So no matter where you're watching, whatever platform, we are here to help you guys out. TikTok, this is only for subscribers to comment tonight. So only subscribers can comment on this show tonight. If you subscribe, you'll obviously get my advice every single day. We're going to do a lot more subscriber-only shows. So make sure you subscribe today. That way you can comment, or you can watch on YouTube, and that way you can get your questions in there. One of those two platforms or options is going to be available to you guys. So either on YouTube or on TikTok via subscribers. So that's the way we're giving out our picks tonight. That's the way we're giving out fantasy football advice. If you guys want to be a part of the show when it comes to comments tonight, that's how we're doing it. Either YouTube or subscribers on TikTok. I will be going through any questions. If you subscribe, I'll answer any of the questions that you may have. I'll focus on your teams, no matter what it is. Appreciate you guys being with us. Excited to talk some fantasy football tonight with you guys. If you are watching on YouTube, feel free to fire away with your questions. Again, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick. But on TikTok, only for subscribers to comment. And on YouTube, anyone can comment. So YouTube is probably the better platform for those who don't want to subscribe. If you are willing to subscribe, hit that subscribe button now. Awesome night of baseball. That's what I was just watching. I was just enjoying. I watched the Yankee game. I watched the Red Sox game. I watched the Braves game. I didn't catch as much of the Mets game as I would have liked, but I wanted to see that. I was just watching the Padres game now. It was just so great to be able to watch some baseball. Obviously, Ronald Acuna Jr. is just otherworldly. Fantastic. And Aaron Judge with a 3-home run performance. Just fantastic. It was just wonderful to watch baseball. I put out a rant about it on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Sometimes we forget when we hit this football part of the season that baseball's a beautiful sport. It's just fun. It's just fun. Of all the sports, I feel like it's the most fun in some ways, but I'm biased towards baseball. Anyways, if you want to comment on TikTok, you have to subscribe. Otherwise, if you're watching on YouTube, anyone can comment if you watch on YouTube, but TikTok is going to be exclusively for subscribers. Squealers, good evening. How you doing tonight? Hope you're having a great night so far. Squealers, feel free to fire away with your fantasy football questions. We're answering fantasy football questions for everyone who subscribes on TikTok. You thinking Kelly or Ford? I'm thinking Joshua Kelly, and here's why. I think the PPR will play a factor. I think the Vikings defense isn't as good against the run as the Titans defense. Chance Parsons, I'd go Joshua Kelly. Again, if you guys subscribe, I'll answer all of your questions. It could be fantasy football questions, sports betting questions, DFS lineup questions, whatever you guys need help with. Chance, I hope that I am paying off that subscriber fee, whatever it is. I believe it's $5.99. But I'm going to answer your questions every single time, Chance. We're going to do these lives quite a bit. I definitely want to make it worth your while. So thank you so much, Chance, for supporting the network. I'm so grateful. If you have other questions, let us know. Thank you, Chance. I appreciate you saying that. That matters a lot. I want to make sure that the content we create and certainly the advice we offer, it pays off for you and everyone else who watches. Thanks so much, Chance. Appreciate all those who are with us. Make sure you do hit the follow button. We will be doing a pregame show for college football tomorrow morning. Pregame show for college football tomorrow morning starting at 10 a.m. Do you have any defense ranking this week? Defenses that I really like this week. I think the Saints could be a sneaky good defense. I'm not going to say they're necessarily one you're going to want to pick up, but keep your eye on that. I think the Saints could be a sneaky good defense this week. The Patriots are going to be outstanding. The Patriots are going to be an outstanding defense to play in DFS. They're going to be good in fantasy. The Jets are going to be good as well. I think the Jets are going to get sacks. They're going to get an interception. But I think the Patriots will be slightly better. Buffalo-Washington is going to be a sloppy game in terms of the weather, so I think both of those defenses will get points. I don't necessarily think it will be because of defense. It may just be a sloppy game overall, but I could see those teams putting up some points if you're looking for some other options. Seahawks, Andy Dalton is not going to play a clean game. Andy Dalton may play okay, but I don't think he'll play a clean game, so I think the Seahawks have an opportunity there. The Chiefs are another one. Chiefs are one that I have my eye on as well because the Bears mess. I do think Justin Fields is going to play better. He's going to run more. But I think the Chiefs, when Chris Jones comes back, so much changes on the positive side of things. And obviously, I don't even have to mention it. Cowboys, even with Diggs being out, Cowboys against the Cardinals, but you already knew that. So, those are the defenses I have my eye on. If you guys want to comment on TikTok, just subscribe. You just need to become a subscriber. I'll answer all of your questions. We're doing a bunch of subscriber-only shows, so that way you get your money's worth. Squealers, Flex, Gainwell, or Cooks. Man, I don't like either one. If I had to go in either direction, it's interesting. This does feel like it's a Cooks game. I hate saying that because it comes out of nowhere. But in both cases, it comes out of nowhere. Gainwell's coming off the injury. I really don't want to go with him. I really like DeAndre Swift. I think he solidified that RB1 position, and I love the passing options in the offense. So where does Gainwell come in? Rashad Penny didn't get a lot of options, or a lot of touches. Rashard Penny, and because of that, I just don't know where Gainwell comes in. Brandon Cooks, I feel like there's one big shot. I feel like they're just building up play action. I feel like they'll pull it out for this game just to have some fun, pad some stats. But Squealers, I'm pulling that out of my butt fumble. If I'm being honest, Squealers, that's a coin flip between the two. Because what I'm really saying is I don't like either one. I actually don't like either one. If I had to go in any direction, I'll say Cooks because I think he might have actually a greater upside. Jay Lopedog, great to see you. Ohio State or Notre Dame? I'm going to take Notre Dame to cover. I want to buy the 1.5. Notre Dame plus 4.5. I feel like it's going to be like literally a 1-point difference, a 2-point difference. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know who's going to win. I'm taking Notre Dame to cover at 4.5. That's really what I'm going to say. I'm looking forward to that game, but I'm not going to make a money line pick on that one. Chance Parsons, 821. I picked up the Chiefs, but I have Fields, so I don't know if that's a great thing. It's not. It's not. Because you're cannibalizing points either way. So what I would recommend you do, who's your backup quarterback, Chance? Who's your backup quarterback? And if you don't have a backup quarterback, who's on the waiver wire? By the way, this is the kind of personal advice you get when you subscribe. I'll answer all of your questions, literally down to rate the team, rate the trade, what about these 5 players on the waiver wire, or what do you think about starting this player? So the advice is there and thorough, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, and that way you can be a part of the show, or just watch on YouTube. Everyone who's watching on YouTube, you can fire away with your questions, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. I'll answer your questions from there as well. Squealers, I have so many injuries. Montgomery, Waddle, Eckler, Dunn. Man, the fact that you're 2-0, Squealers, you did a great job. Jones, oh, well, I'm glad you sat him. That was the right thing to do. I hope that was my advice, Chance Parsons. I hope I told you to sit him. With that said, I would probably say, who are some options on defense? Who's someone you could pick up? Junior, will weather affect Josh Allen's output? What do we think? Okay, first of all, yes it could in the passing game. Very much yes it could. I actually think what it also could change, he may still get his points because it may mean he runs more, especially in the red zone. But additionally, I think there's an opportunity for him to just dump the ball off to running backs more often, Junior. And because of that, what it makes me think is James Cook's going to have a better day. Josh Allen could still get his yardage, still get some stats. It's just not going to be downfield production. Doesn't feel like a Gabe Davis day. Doesn't feel like a Gabe Davis day because he's more a down-the-field shot. The only way I could see it is like those short fade routes. Sometimes they do that in the red zone, but I'm not as high on Gabe Davis overall between the 20s. Happy Chance Parsons that advice was right. Jets or Ravens? Oh, Chance, I'd rather play either one of those. Personally, I'm gonna lean slightly towards the Ravens without. It's tough because the Ravens are injured. The Jets are. I gotta go Jets. I gotta remind myself, don't go with the bad quarterback. Minshew will make you regret it. Don't go with the bad quarterback. Go with the better talented defense, the more talented defense. The Jets are the more talented defense. There's going to be weather in that game as well at MetLife Stadium. There's going to be opportunity for Sauce Gardner to get a pick or someone else in that secondary. You know Quinnen Williams is going to get a sack. The Patriots' offensive line, you saw what happened with Jalen Carter. I know the offensive line has gotten healthier, but still, expect them to be able to get pressure on Mac Jones. Chance Parsons, you got to go with the Jets defense. That's the advice on that one. Titans as well. No. Titans are going to get cut up in the secondary. They give up a lot of passing yards. If you guys are watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, fire away with your questions. Happy to answer all of them. Of course, if you're watching on TikTok, this one's only for subscribers. Pirates beating the Reds ruined my parlay. One leg that didn't hit. It is brutal. I always say there's a reason that casinos build. Man, I'm butchering it because I'm tired. That casinos build. Vegas builds casinos on parlays. Okay, Tos NJ. Question for you, Chief. For a survivor pick, what do you think Seahawks are really risky or a good play this week? So Seahawks as a survivor pool play. The answer is I love it. The answer is I love the Seahawks as a survivor pool play. Here's the one risk I would take. Is there any other time you would want to play the Seahawks? No, probably not. The only reason I say that is because they play the Arizona Cardinals twice, and you're not picking them on an Arizona Cardinals week. That said, I do feel like it's a very safe play, and maybe you're not going to play the Seahawks during other parts of the season, but they do play the Cardinals twice. Just something to think about. That said, I do think it's a very safe play. I think if you did take in your survivor pool the Seahawks, you do okay. That's why I was thinking the Cardinals matchups. Those are the only other ones, but definitely something to consider. Junior, Pirate, yeah, okay. Squealers, in my other league, I'm starting Kyron Williams, Bijan, Walker with Swift. Kelly on the bench. I like it overall. It's tough between Kyron Williams and Kelly. It's a bit of a coin flip there. Again, is it PPR? Maybe in PPR, Kelly's a little bit more valuable, but it's very close. Jay Lopedog, I like the Seahawks to win, maybe not cover. I totally agree with you. Jay Lopedog, I absolutely agree with you. I think you're exactly correct. Half PPR. Man, you talk about a coin flip splitting it in half. With Williams out, does Tony Jones get more work? Yes. I don't think he's going to put up massive stats, but I think Tony Jones could be a nice option there, IP Shade 45, especially if you're really in a pinch, 14-man league, or maybe just all the good running backs are gone. He might be a gamble worth taking. K. Blaylock just traded Ford and Christian Kirk for Higgins. Not crazy about it. Think you probably gave up actually a little bit too much value, Cade. Cole, Fields, or Geno Smith? Cole, I'm going to go with Geno. I think it's a much safer play. Again, the Panthers defense played well on Monday night. However, Shaq Thompson, gone. Short week after the Monday night game. You got to fly across country to Seattle, play in that environment. For so many reasons, Seattle feels like a pretty good play to the point about the survivor pool pick. So because of that, I kind of lean towards Geno anyways. I think they're going to be able to take advantage of that defense, that Carolina defense this week. As for your other question, starting two, I would start Addis. It's tough. I'm going to start Addison and Flowers just barely over London. It's so close. I like all three, but that's where I'm going to go. I'm Sam Hartman's Heisman coming. Is this Sam Hartman's coming? The answer is yes, it is. IP Shade 45. It is Sam Hartman's Heisman coming out game. But that said, he will not be invited to New York for the Heisman. It's not going to happen. This may be the game where he gets on people's radar, but don't worry about it. Sam Hartman ain't going anywhere. It's because Notre Dame ain't going anywhere. I don't believe in Notre Dame as much as other people do. I think they can cover tomorrow because they're at home, and I don't think this Ohio State team is juggernaut in the same way that it's been in years past. That said, I don't think Sam Hartman is nearly as good as people are going to want to make him out to be after this game. Cole, love my picks. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys are hitting me up on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. DM me, and that way you can get all of my picks. I'll hit you guys up with a referral code. My picks have been, en fuego of late. Yeah, they've been doing pretty well. Pretty well. So, anyways, appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you're enjoying the show. Drew Hazard, who should I flex? Gotta be Zay Flowers. Has to be Zay Flowers. Squealers, your shirt's arriving. I'm so excited. Let me know. I'd love to, honestly, Instagram, post a pic. I'd love to see it. That Buttfumble shirt's arriving. You guys should check out our merchandise at buttfumblesports.com. Cole, Mostert advice won the week last week. So excited about that. Carter Newman traded Moss for Deontay Johnson. That's a great... You got Deontay Johnson back. I don't like it if you're giving up Zach Moss, but I understand it. I understand it because you think you're getting long-term value. You're getting second-half value. I'll say yes to it, but I kind of like what Zach Moss has going right now. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. If you want to comment on TikTok, you have to be a subscriber. It's a subscriber-only show tonight. As for YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, anybody can comment. On YouTube, anybody can comment. So if you want to watch the show on YouTube and fire away with all of your questions, you can do that for free. Or you can become a subscriber on TikTok today. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday night. Hope it's just been a great day. ESPN's being funny. ESPN's funny. If you guys are watching on TikTok and want to ask your questions, just need to be a subscriber. Jay Lopedog, how's the night going? What other football questions you have, Jay Lopedog? I know you're always up to something. Avery Paul, thoughts on the Browns defense on Sunday? I think they'll get their sacks against a very vulnerable offensive line, but I also think Derrick Henry could have a good game. And Avery Paul, hope you're doing well. Thanks for asking. Let's go! Let's go! Okay, I was waiting on one thing. Sorry if I scared you there for a moment, but we were waiting on some picks to come in. I didn't want to jinx anything. These were our picks tonight. Red Sox, cash. Brewers, cash. Braves, 1.5. How'd we do? Braves minus 1.5. I believe we cashed. And the Tigers right now in action. They're winning right now. Who knows if they win? Not saying they will. I did make the pick, but we'll see. Don't want to get overly excited. But I'm very excited because the picks that I gave out on SHARPZ earlier today, the picks I gave out on the app, cashed the Twins, cashed the Astros. I had Astros plus 2.5 in a number of my bets, and they came back. I also took them live and got them plus 4.5. Obviously, they came back to cash that. Twins on the win. We did a lot of money making today. We cashed a lot of tickets today. I have to admit, we are scorching hot right now. I mean, and on parlays. And I hate doing parlays. I do more parlays because I'm on the SHARPZ app and more people ask for parlays. So I do them, but I hate it because it blows up my percentage. When we were doing the show over the summer, 65%. Like, that's the standard I hold myself to. Now, I don't do 65%. It's closer to 50% because they want parlays. That tells you how good we're doing if we didn't have parlays because we're only at 50%. That said, we have been so hot over the last 2 days. We did well on the first 2 weeks of the NFL, but the NFL's always been an area where I do well with my bets. Baseball, though, we had hit a bit of a lull. There had been a stretch there where a lot of the underdogs were winning, but it was hard to predict. We have overcome that. We cashed, we did so well tonight. If you guys want my picks every single day, make sure you DM me on Instagram, Butt Sports on Instagram. I put all of my picks up on the app for free, up on the SHARPZ app for free every day. So if you want all my picks, I didn't want them behind a paywall. There were other sponsors that talked to me, and I didn't want it behind a paywall. This is absolutely free. Everyone can see them. You can comment on them. You can say whether you would follow or fade them. So if you like one of my picks, you can do the follow button. If you hate it, you can fade it. You can literally comment on it and tell me, Butt Fumble doesn't know anything. I've got my butt fumble where my helmet should be. But that said, that's one of the reasons I love the app. If you guys want to see all my picks every single day for free, DM me on Instagram, Butt Sports. I'll hook you guys up with the referral code. Anyways, IP Shade 45. Who is the upset slate of NFL games? Rams with Burrow is definitely one, but I'm not as high on that. I think Joe Burrow is going to play, and I think they're going to win. So I'm not going to take the bait. Maybe in terms of a spread, I could see. The problem is actually the 2.5. I don't like that much. I actually think the Bengals, that actually might be a little too snug. The upset one that I would keep my eye on. Here's one. Oh, okay. Who's the favorite in the Steelers and Raiders? Who's actually the favorite in the Steelers and Raiders? Tell me. Because whoever the favorite is, I'll take the underdog. It's that kind of game. Steelers and Raiders, crazy stuff happens. If history tells us anything, Steelers, Raiders, crazy stuff happens. I think the Steelers win. But they're the underdog, as I see it. And that's actually to exactly my point, J Lope Dog. IP Shade 45, I mentioned this to you earlier. Exactly. The Steelers are the underdog. I feel like the Steelers are going to come out of week 3 2-1. And everyone's going to be hating on Matt Canada, and everyone was dragging them through the mud after that 49ers week 1. The 49ers were that good. You know what it kind of reminds me of? If you guys remember years ago, after the Ravens won the Super Bowl, because of a scheduling snafu, the Ravens had to start the season on the road against the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos lit them up. Peyton Manning lit them up. That was the 7-touchdown game. Because of that, everyone said the Ravens were dogs. The Ravens weren't dogs. They weren't as good a team the following year, but they were better than people thought. Same thing happened to the Steelers team. Week 1, blown out. People overlooked them. Next couple weeks, I think they're coming back to where we expected them to be. I think the Steelers are going to win this game. And what the Steelers are about is TJ Watt. It's not about Pickett. It's not about Pickens. It's not about Harris. It's not about anybody on the offensive side of the ball. If TJ Watt is a game wrecker, the Steelers win. If TJ Watt is a game wrecker, the Steelers win. I'm just going in that direction, and there is nobody on the offensive line of the Raiders that gives me any faith that they can stop TJ Watt. So actually, if there was one underdog that I would like to win this weekend, it would be the Steelers, plus 2.5. Steelers, I would take them outright. I know, IP Shade 45, you hate me, but I still love you, IP Shade 45. I hope we're still friends. Jules, Peyton Manning gave them a butt whooping. Yep, that's right. Everyone remembers it. Drew Hazard, Joshua Kelly, or Zach Moss. I'm still going to lean towards Zach Moss. I think he's going to be a pivotal player. Do you think the Patriots' win streak against the Jets ends this week? No. No. And here's the reason. Zach Wilson, Bill Belichick. Those two forces. It like something's got to give there. And I don't know how the Zach Wilson side's going to push back. He may get one deep pass to Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall may break one big run. But I don't see where the Jets are getting enough. Because in part, they don't have an offensive play caller who's going to come up with a wildcat. Who's going to like shock us. So it becomes once again a low scoring game. And the difference this year, even compared to past years, is the Patriots defense is better. The Patriots defense is better. Patriots offense is better simply by the fact that Matt Patricia is an offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien is. But I don't think the Patriots offense is going to have a good time against the Jets. Where the Patriots are going to have success on Sunday, which I think will lead to wins, is not only do they own Zach Wilson, but they also have a better defense this year than they did last year. I think Christian Gonzalez matches up very well against Garrett Wilson. Very well. And I think that it gives them a lot of options in the defense to once again confuse Zach Wilson, force him into interceptions. If you haven't taken Zach Wilson on an over-interception prop, you probably should get on that. Where's Colby? Keep, sell, Swift moving forward. Where's Colby? You gotta keep him. Swift has a lot of upside, a lot of reasons to like him. Christian Vasquez, start 2. Swift, Sanders, Kyron Williams, or Aaron Jones. Looks like Aaron Jones is going to play, so I like Aaron Jones. And if I'm going to be praising Swift in one comment, I'll double down. I like Swift this week as well, Christian. Duke, new to the channel. So glad to have you. Duke, hope you subscribe. Welcome in. Superflex, PPR. Can I play one of Watson, London, Wilson, Moore, Swift? Well, I really like DeAndre Swift, as I just said. I really like Drake London this week. So those would be the two I would play out of that group. If there was one out of that duo, maybe I lean towards Drake London a little bit more. Not really. I think it's Swift. You can hear there's kind of pull back and forth. If Devontae Smith is injured, maybe DeAndre Swift's even in better play. So I think DeAndre Swift, I think that's ultimately where I'm going to come out. Usually when it's between those battles of two players, I think who's going to get more touches? Who's ultimately going to get more opportunities to score you points? DeAndre Swift, a running back, they usually get more carries than a wide receiver gets targets, and then again, let alone receptions. So I'm going to lean towards DeAndre Swift. Christian Vasquez, Keenan Allen, over 6.5 receptions. Let's go check that one out using Outlier. If you guys are watching on TikTok, let's get to some of your questions while I get this up and running. Jake, I'd go Addison. Jake, I'm leaning towards Addison just slightly. It's very close. Both are going to do well. Drew, we are going to get to your question in just 1 second. Once I answer this question on YouTube, I will get to your question in just 1 second. But we're looking at Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen on receptions. Keenan Allen on total receptions. The under's the better play. Very interesting. The under's the much stronger play. Hasn't been a good trend. I know the matchup that he has on the road. Kind of conflicted here. Personally, I understand why maybe they don't like. Maybe they like the under, and it's because I think there are going to be other receivers who are getting involved in the passing game. It may not just be him. So 6.5 feels a little high. When I see something like this that's conflicting that much, I just wouldn't take it. I'd look for other bets. Receiving yards, 68.5. See, that's a much better play. Keenan Allen over 68. There you go. 7 out of the last 9 games this is cashed. That's the kind of play we're going for. So if we're looking towards the future, Keenan Allen, I'm willing to go on both of Mike Williams and Keenan Allen on this. Keenan Allen over, what do we got it here? 68.5. Alternative lines, you could get it over on others. Over 69.5 is probably what I like to do because I like to cash tickets. 69.5 receiving yards. Was it minus 154 we saw it at? What was that? Minus 146, even better. So there you go. Keenan Allen over on yards is what I like far more than receptions. And just to complete the thought, let's look at anytime touchdown, because that is one I like as well. Anytime touchdown, 43%. That's great for an anytime touchdown. It's plus 130. Let's jump on board with this. We didn't take Mike Williams on the touchdown. I told you about that earlier. He could easily get one. Keenan Allen just seems to be the more, he seems to be the favored red zone option. So I'll go with the over, half, anytime, touchdown. And again, just to make sure I'm showing you guys, you can get it at multiple different numbers. Plus 130, plus 125. Either way, really good play. So, that answers your question. Thanks so much for hitting me up. Drew was asking about Dak on over on total yards. Let's go check that one out. Dak Prescott on passing yards. 53% on the over, 53% on the under. It doesn't have great implied probability either way. Not a great trend on the road over the last few games. That includes some defenses that aren't that good. Prior to that, though, Tennessee is dog poop. I wouldn't take the over, and let me tell you why. I think the running game could have a breakout day. I'm not crazy about that. I think he could have big passes. I think he could have a deep pass to Brandon Cooks, but over 233, I don't think so. I don't think so, and in part because I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to want Dak Prescott getting into bad habits, and I think this is the kind of game you got to be careful. When Dak Prescott starts to throw deep in this game, it won't bite him in this game. It'll bite him in the next game. It'll bite him 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, when he starts to become a chucker again. So I don't think it's going to happen as much. I think they're going to remain conservative, but I wouldn't bet it either way. I wouldn't bet the under. I wouldn't bet the over. There are different forces in me. The trends don't lend itself either direction. I know part of the reason I don't like it is we're really making an assumption about the Cardinals' defense, but we're not really thinking about the fact that the running game is just as likely to have a massive day. Frankly, I think I like Tony Pollard a lot in this game. Question is, how many touches will they give him? Over on half a touchdown. You got to like this one at minus 175. I am going to take this. Tony Pollard over half and anytime touchdown. One more time to show you the odds. Minus 230 on FanDuel. That's why FanDuel is kind of yuck. DraftKings minus 175. BetMGM minus 175. Now, is this one I would actually bet? Probably not. As in, I might do it. I might not. It's kind of on the fence. It's kind of like this Taysom Hill pick. Because these two anytime touchdowns, for Taysom Hill, I don't know if it's going to happen. I've got to think about it a little bit more. Tony Pollard, it's more like minus 175 on a touchdown. Is that really great value? So you got to think about it for yourself. If you guys have questions, make sure you hit that follow button. We are going to be live at 10 a.m. tomorrow, everybody. 10 a.m. tomorrow to do our pregame show for college football. Drew, 7382, thank you so much. Josh Waldrop, a lot of people are telling me to bench Josh Jacobs and start Raheem Mostert. I actually agree with that. I agree with that. Mostert over Josh Jacobs, I would actually do this week. And the reason why, one, I think that even when the Broncos defense is playing well, and they haven't been the first 2 weeks, they're vulnerable in the running game as opposed to the passing game. Second, I think the defense of the Steelers is on point. They're going to be aggressive. And I think what they know is apply pressure to Jimmy G. One of the ways you do that, just stop the running game. And I think they're going to attack Josh Jacobs really effectively. I just don't like the Raiders' offensive line. I think Mostert's got some opportunities as well in the passing game. So I would lean towards Mostert just barely. IP Shade 45 is asking about Sam Laporta By the way, Jake, love seeing that Caesars, it wasn't showing up on Outlier. Nice to see that it's at minus 127. Very nice. I was getting that at an anytime touchdown, right? Yeah, over half an anytime touchdown. So, okay. Very interesting. Sam Laporta over 3.5 receptions. Personally, right off the cuff, I like that one, but let's dive into it. On total receptions here, 3.5, better over than the under. 53% on the over implied probability. It's cashed in the first 2 games of his career. I'm gonna go with it again. I'm gonna ride with it. Sam Laporta over 3.5 receptions. We cashed on this once. We'll cash on it again. I like it. I think he continues to get about 5 catches a game. I think he's going to be a very consistent player over his career. And more importantly, I think that's who Jared Goff is. I think Jared Goff is a classic pocket passing quarterback. And what do they love? A tight end who just finds a spot in the zone, sits down, beats his man because it's a linebacker, gets a pass, collects a few yards. I think that's who Jared Goff is. I think Sam Laporta is going to fit him perfectly in that offense. Caesars played me and didn't give me my money for Nick Chubb. Lame. And yet at the same time, Drew, I also understand the fact that, are they always going to refund money for injuries? I don't like that either because, no. I mean, that's what it is. That's what happens. It's like playing fantasy football. People get hurt. So I'm kind of on the fence on it. I wish you had gotten your money back because you're you, but... Carter Newman, do you recommend picking up Roschon Johnson or Herbert on waivers? It'd be Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson. Is Jaden Reed anytime touchdown a good play this week? I wouldn't think so. It's certainly not one that I'm going to play. We can look at the odds for you, but it's not one that I have any interest in playing. The Saints are a good defense. If anyone's going to get in the end zone, I think it's going to be one of the primary stars of the Green Bay Packers, plus 250 on FanDuel, plus 350 on DraftKings, plus 190. BetMGM, pick your game up. Maybe they know something. Duke, it's PPR and team is stacked because I traded Chase, Hill, Lamar for a lot of draft picks. I can play 3U. Got me thinking about London. Would you play him over Stevenson, Walker, Kyron? I really like London this week. I think I like him a little bit more than Stevenson. It's close. Walker is a dark horse, nice play. But for now, I'm leaning towards London. DFS-wise, what is your thoughts on Ritter? I like Ritter more at home. If I've learned anything, Ritter in a home game, whether it's college or the NFL, is a good bet. Ritter on the road, don't feel the same way. BetMGM is onto it. Yeah, exactly. BetMGM might know something. Maybe that's a reason to take it on another sports book. But one of the things I'll tell you guys is don't be loyal to just one sports book. Feel free to stand out there and go to other people. Unless you're sponsored by someone, which we may be at some point. Need help for a flex start? Would you go with Addison, McLaurin, Brian Robinson, or Atwell? For me, it's Addison. Brian Robinson would be number 2. But where's Colby? Addison would be number 1. Drew said, yeah, exactly. DraftKings has been really good about refunding money. Yeah, I've been impressed by that. Really impressed by that. Best Doggos, thanks so much for subscribing. Great to have you as a part of this community. Addison, Kirk, White, Ford, pick 2. Love the fact you're giving me the chance to pick 2 because it's Addison and Kirk. Really like both of them this week. Addison and Kirk. Would you start Robinson for the flex over T. Higgins if Burrow is missing? Absolutely, but I think Burrow's going to play. Jordan Love over half an interception. I like that one. We're going to look it up right now, but I like that one. Just the matchup against the Saints. I tend to think that's going to be a good one. We're going to dive into it right now, though, to lock it in. By the way, if you guys haven't heard me say this before, I hate locks. Over half an interception, better implied probability, 55% implied probability. This is one worth taking. I like this one. The trends obviously aren't going to be there because he hasn't been playing. But I like this one as well. Jordan Love over half an interception. Was that minus 130 I saw that at? Minus 120. By the way, I feel like every time I look at the numbers, the first time I get it wrong. But anyways, Jordan Love, over half an interception. I do like that one as well, IP Shade 45. Great call on that. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you DM me on Instagram, Butt Sports on Instagram, to get all of my picks every single day. My player prop bets, my game picks, my total plays, everything, every sport. DM me. We have been scorching hot. These were our picks tonight. Let's check in on how the Tigers are doing. Are the Tigers helping us out or hurting us? Oh, Tigers are hurting us. They had a 2-1 lead, and then, of course, I went live and talked about it. So you knew that was going to happen. You knew that I was going to jinx that. But that's okay. We don't have them. We have them in a couple tickets, but not too many. But that said, we really needed the Twins. We really needed the Red Sox. We really needed the Astros. And we got the Braves as well. So we've been doing pretty well. If the Tigers are going to be that one stinker, that's okay. Hopefully they can make a late comeback in the final few innings. But I avoided the Dodgers today, which feels really good right now. Appreciate all you guys being with us every single day. We are live across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick every single day. This is a subscriber-only show for those on TikTok. So if you're watching on TikTok and you want to comment, you need to be a subscriber. We're 2 subscribers away from 50, so that would be a great goal to try and reach tonight. That said, if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, you can ask your questions. We're driving some people to YouTube. We'd love you guys to watch on YouTube. Stephen Bice, Zay Flowers. Stephen Bice, Zay Flowers. Out of these 4 receivers, when healthy, who would you try to sell? Would you hang on to them? I'd try to sell Devontae Adams. I'd sell Deontay Johnson. I'd keep Diggs. I'd keep Keenan Allen. I'm worried about injury, but I'd sell Devontae Adams, I think. Drake London and Josh Reynolds are both available on the waiver wire. Is it worth picking up one of them? Absolutely. Look, Drake London, you should pick up. Drake London, I actually think is worth a start this week. That's how much I like him. I think he could have a monster game. I think Drake London, if someone dropped Drake London, that's that classic, they overreacted in week 1. They overreacted to something they saw, and frankly, Drake London, he's going to be fine. He is going to be fine. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're following us. Yeah, Squealers has him in his starting lineup. And Squealers is awesome. Best doggos, Nick Collins, Godwin, or Kelly in a PPR. I'm going to lean towards Godwin over Collins. I think it's a coin flip, and it's because of the PPR. I think Collins could ultimately get more points in terms of yardage, but Godwin's going to get more catches. So I lean towards Godwin, even against Slay. It's going to be tight. Should I trade Brian Robinson and DJ Moore for Derrick Henry? Brian Robinson and DJ Moore both on my bench. No, you're giving up way too much value, Jake. I think you're giving up too much value because Derrick Henry is good, but this isn't prime Derrick Henry. I think Brian Robinson's ability to get touchdowns is going to make him so valuable. I think DJ Moore and Robinson actually have more season value than Derrick Henry. And in this case, I would rather have the 2 players. Because Derrick Henry, I don't know if he's reliable. I don't know if the Titans are reliable enough. That offensive line has issues. Brian Robinson, DJ Moore, I'm not selling on those guys yet. I don't know if you guys saw that NFL Films clip of the Bucs talking to DJ Moore. Inspector Gadget. They're just using him wrong. The Bears don't know how to use him, but DJ Moore is a stud. And the moment that they just understand, just get the ball in his hands. What's crazy to me is sometimes you see this. The Bears were getting it right in preseason. And then it's like they forgot. Yeah, Jake, I'm glad you saw the clip. Yeah, it's like the Bears forgot. Just get DJ Moore the ball. I don't care how you do it. You can do jet sweeps. You can do bubble screens. You can do slants. You can do deep routes. You can do any route on the field. DJ Moore is going to make something happen. He is that talented. So don't worry about it. Just throw him the frickin' ball. Just run plays that design an opportunity for him to be open with the ball in his hands. I don't care if he's starting 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I'll take my chances. Give him those opportunities. I also like him more than in a PPR league. The Bears offense is a mess right now. Said everyone ever. When in the history of the Bears has that offense not been a mess? Even when they won a Super Bowl, no one talks about that offense. They talk about Walter Payton. No one talks about that offense. They talk about that defense. Chicago Bears have not had an offense that anyone can ever remember. So, anyways, Jules, would you trade Devontae Adams for Waddle, Drake London, and Tank Dell? Oh my God, Jules, absolutely. I love that trade. I'd do it in a heartbeat. Cutler with Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey. IP Shade 45, just think about that for a second. That's the standard. I get it. Like, yeah, sure. But that's the standard. That's the Joe Flacco for the Ravens. By the way, Ravens, have they had amazing offenses? No. But Lamar Jackson, I would probably put, but like Bears have been around longer. Bears have had more opportunities to get it right. By the way, this week, I love this matchup because this game between the Bears and the Chiefs is going to be an opportunity for every broadcaster to remind you that the Bears did not draft Patrick Mahomes, and instead they drafted Mitch Trubisky. Great. Wonderful. Just drink it up. Drink it up. By the way, I'm not a Bears hater. I just love it. Crazy stat. Justin Jefferson has more receiving yards. Yeah, more receiving yards than any Bears wide receiver in their history. By the way, how old is he? J-Lope Dog, do me a favor. How old is Justin Jefferson? But the Bears had the shuffle. Of course they did, yeah. No, don't get me wrong. The Bears are a likable team. The Bears are a very likable team. I'm not taking a shit on the Bears. I love the Bears. I do. They're a great organization, great franchise, great defense. But you know what they are? They're not good at drafting offense. Jake, what team are you a fan of? At this point, I'm not really a fan of any team individually. I grew up in New England, so I went through both the dog days and the good times of sports in general. But I've worked at ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports. I've been a producer for Jim Rome. When you work in sports as long as I have, at a certain point you stop rooting for teams and you just love sports. You stop, especially with sports betting and fantasy sports and everything else. I don't have any loyalty. All the childhood heroes of mine have all retired officially. And at this point, I just love the game of football. I just love the game of baseball. I just love basketball at the pro and the college level. Same for football, but it's a little different. Football at the college level can be brutal. Because there's some matchups where it's, Alabama versus dog shit you, and it's pretty bad. But that said, I just love sports. Love sports. If you guys have ever known me, if you guys ever meet me, if you guys ever get the opportunity to talk to me off the air, one thing you'll know is I love sports. That's why I created this company, Butt Fumble Sports, so I could talk sports with you guys every single day. If you guys have questions, fire away with them. I am on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Subscriber only on TikTok and on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. You can just fire away with your questions. Jules, appreciate you. Justin Jefferson's just 24 years old, and he's already surpassed every wide receiver in Bears history. That tells you everything. Did you see Megatron clip on how he couldn't pivot on his right ankle, so he walked away? I didn't see it, but you knew it was bad. Look, but also here's something else. Calvin Johnson isn't one of those players that's like, and I'm going to get a surgery so I can play. I don't care if I have to drag my limping body across the field. Calvin Johnson was never that kind of player. And that's no knock on Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson, though, is a freak. Physically, athletic, freak. But was his heart the heart of a dog? Was he like Ray Lewis, like you would have to drag me off the field? During a game, he wasn't one of those guys that's like, I'm going to play until I'm 40 and I'm going to be limping around, but someone's going to have to tell me I can't play anymore. No. And I don't blame him, because Calvin Johnson gave everything to the game that we wanted. And I have no problem with Calvin Johnson. None. I think he is Here's the only unfortunate thing. Exactly like Barry Sanders, we will always ask, was he the greatest of all time if he had just been able to continue playing? And the answer, by the way, is no. It's Jerry Rice. But is he the second greatest of all time? Right now, I think that's Randy Moss ahead of Terrell Owens. It's close, but I think Terrell Owens just wasn't quite as good as Randy Moss. But I think Calvin Johnson would have had a claim if he had stayed and played longer in the NFL. Wanted to come on for you guys tonight. We have been on for about 50 minutes. So if you guys have questions, fantasy football questions, sports betting questions, feel free to fire away. We're here to help you guys out with everything that you guys need. So fire away with those questions. Squealers. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Everyone hates the Patriots. Despise Moss. Yeah, how could you not? But he was a phenomenal player. Josh Waldrop, I don't know who to drop, pick up for London. Have Pittman, Moore, Ingram, Swift, Breece Hall. Ooh. If I were Josh, it would be Pittman out of that entire group. He's the one player I wouldn't want to lose. Unless you're willing to give... Yeah, he's the only one I'd be willing to lose. I'm not dropping Swift. I really don't want to drop Breece Hall. I still think he has value, and once you lose him, you won't get him back. You're certainly not dropping DJ Moore. So it's between Pittman and Ingram on who to drop. And you're picking up a wide receiver, so dropping a wide receiver, picking one up. Pittman, he has some value this week, but not a ton. So, can you check Mooney over 2.5 receptions? Last one for the night. Okay, good. Last one for the night. Let's check it out. Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney on receptions. We're going to have to make this the last one for the night. We're going to wrap up in just a minute or two. The over, great play here. Over is a great play. 56% implied probability. Phenomenal play. This has been a really good ticket. Not last week, but this has been a good ticket. I like this one as well. I'm going to put this one up on my board. Yep. Good call. IP Shade 45. Way to be doing your research. Darnell Mooney. Over 2.5 receptions. That is a good bet. Look at all the green on the screen. If you're watching on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, that is a very good trend for you. Feel very good about that one. Nice job. Minus 129. You can put it on the board. Yes, sir. Haven't done that in a while. Jake, where do you think Justin Jefferson will be in the all-time rankings when he retires? I think he has the potential to be a top 10. I'm not going to go higher than that right now. He still has a ways to go, and I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to put those kinds of expectations. I feel like top 10 is already being lofty enough. I actually don't. I am a good sports fan. I'm a knowledgeable sports fan. I'm not going to be someone that's quick to be like, I saw that person play, so they have to be number one. No. There was a lot of talent throughout the history of humanity, and sometimes you have to acknowledge it. So I think he has the chance to be a top 10, but I think there are a lot of talented wide receivers, and we need to see how his career plays out. There are a lot of factors that play into it, and he's checking a lot of boxes. He's passing all the toll booths right now, but he still has a ways to go. Best doggos. Fields is my only QB. Anyone to invest in. Stafford. Watson has good value this week. Watson has good value this week in the passing game, especially against the Tennessee Titans. This is a game in which I actually think Watson has decent value. Between Fields and Watson, it's very close. I don't know if it's a big enough upgrade, but it's a thought. Oh, Darnell Mooney. There. That explains it, IP Shade 45. Yeah, no wonder. There you go. So it's been an even better trend by that standard. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Make sure you hit that follow button if you've been watching but you haven't been talking because it's a subscriber-only show. Make sure you hit the follow button. We will be live at 10 a.m. tomorrow, everybody. At 10 a.m. tomorrow, we will be live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Duke, I would go with Reynolds, and I'd go Devontae Parker. IP Shade 45, thank you so much for supporting the show. As always, You guys have been so great. Which 4 are your favorite from your list? Brennan Garcia, I'm going to make you jump through one more hoop, okay? I am going to put my favorites in our newsletter. So our newsletter goes out at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. Sign up for our free newsletter on our website, buttfumblesports.com. And the reason I do say that is I actually don't know which one's my favorite right now, and I wouldn't want to necessarily try to evaluate them on the spot. I feel like it's going to take a little bit more time. So it is both me asking you to jump through a hoop, but also me stalling for a little bit more time. But if you guys haven't done so already, sign up for our free newsletter. buttfumblesports.com. That's our website, buttfumblesports.com. There should be a link in the bio on TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, you can just go to the website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter. It will be in your inbox at 6 a.m. I'm going to put together all of my favorite NFL game picks, all of my favorite NFL player props, and I'll put in my DFS lineup, so everything will be in that newsletter. That's my favorite. That's like the preferred of all of them. So I'm going to continue to add to this list over the next 24 hours, but all the favorites will be in that newsletter. Squealers, Brennan, Josh, IP Shade 45, Best Doggos, Jake, Josh Waldrip, obviously J Lope Dog, Drew 7382. It is so amazing that we have this kind of community, to know that I have this kind of support every single day that I'm making this show. Every single day when I'm making my picks, I cannot tell you how honored I am that there are people out there that are willing to be a part of this community, that are willing to listen to my advice, that are willing to watch me every single day like you guys do. I am honored. I am honored. I do not take it lightly. I am so flattered that you guys take time out of your day. Life is nothing but time. That's all it is. At the end of this day, that's all it is. It's just time. And for you guys to carve out a little moment of your time to watch my content, I am grateful. Thank you so much, whether it's on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Thank you to all those who watch the show every single day. You guys are why I made my company. You are the reason that I do everything. So thank you guys so much. I am so grateful. If you guys have any more questions, we will be live tomorrow at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is where we're going to kick off our Saturday coverage. It's going to be a college football Saturday pregame show. Brennan, so nice of you to say. So grateful to be able to call you a member of our community. Thank you for subscribing. I hope it's been worth it. I hope we continue to make it worth it. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. Do I like Prize Pool? Prize Picks? I'm not in a Prize Pick state, as in I don't need it. So I'm more than happy to do them and help you out with them. It's just not something I normally do. Anyways, back to the close. Hope you guys are with us 10 a.m. tomorrow. 10 a.m. tomorrow, everybody. At 10 a.m. tomorrow, we will start our show on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, and it will be live for everybody. Everyone can comment. Everyone can watch. Everyone can obviously ask their questions. So if you guys haven't done so already, hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're with us. 10 a.m. tomorrow, everybody. I hope you guys are going to be with us. I cannot wait to talk more sports with you. We're going to cover your college football bets. We're going to college, obviously, fantasy football. How can we not? NFL picks, MLB. It's going to be a loaded show. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. How am I going to fall asleep right now to then be able to get up in time to be able to answer all your questions? I better go do that right now. So I'm signing off for now. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a wonderful night. Sleep well, and I will see you at 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and until then,